It's an unsettling feeling, but luckily it's one I've experienced before. The other world is strange, and this is not my first time. So I'm going to do my best to ignore the unsettling feeling as I say to Shell, well, one thing's for sure, if something goes wrong, we are going to be in very serious trouble. I think we might be in some sort of pocket dimension, or other world. I think we've been whisked away. I imagine our friend perhaps doesn't realize that we are able to... well, doesn't realize that we're special.
Let's see if we have the element of surprise or not.
And so I reach into my person and take out a small portable device. When it's fully unfolded out, it appears a little bit to some like a primitive circle. A sort of metal circle kind of device. It's rather unusual looking, but it's quite useful for being used in place of something like a standard Ouija board or sacred circle, that sort of thing. Quite a funny modern invention, actually. I put it central in the middle of the room, and then I begin the creation of a chalk circle. I obviously have some chalk in my herbal kit after all. I will mention to Shell, come on, get in the circle before I close it.
I do as he says.
And with the circle fully formed around us, I get down on my knees, I take out my silver knife, I hold it close to my heart, and I begin the words. The words are a mixture of Latin and Italian. It's a simple ritual, really, mixed a little bit with the Catholic faith, but not entirely. It's a simple summoning ritual. The time has come. I wish to try and initiate contact with the being, hopefully with the Vaesen.
This is a very handy ritual, you know. You will have to learn more about the Vaesen to create something to befriend, calm, or banish it. But this one is good for making contact. And I need you to roll a learning check. Also, you're using your blessed knife, which will give you a bonus of 1.
Well, it's a good thing I had a bonus of 1, because on that 1 dice I got the success. Just the 1 success. So yes, even though my ritual perhaps is quite basic, and as you said, is lacking in a few things at this stage, again, that blessed knife, I was blessed by a priest in Italy, and I've always believed it has some power. Perhaps that's what helps me complete this ritual.
You are hindered mostly by one simple fact. To call someone, you usually need their name. Hey, you, on a street, draws the attention of everyone. Oh, nobody, but not the person you are looking for. And this is kinda the same with this ritual without the name. You don't have a name.
I do have one name.
You do?
I do have the bloom names. So if I do feel something, I might try and use those. Again, I don't think they are the spirit, but, well, you never know. Their spirits were here once.
Electricity fails. Suddenly it is dark in the room. Shell can feel something that's coming down from the ceiling, like sand or powder running down your neck. There is a breeze, and then you have the faint idea that the walls are gone. You hear the window, the glass of the window shatter. as something comes into the completely dark room. You aren't alone anymore.
Am I speaking with a bloom?
What's this name? What's this name?
Not a bloom, then. Shell. Did you know find out what the nurse's name was by any chance?
Unfortunately not. I wish we could have checked it in the archive before coming here. Nurse? I say.
Nurse. Why nurse? Why bloom? Why nurse? Why pain? Why pain?
We want to help you. We want to help you find peace. What can we do to help you?
Don't know. Pain. Don't know who. Don't. Name.
I start trying to think back on those notes. I did, after all, read them quite thoroughly. Were there any nurse names? I had the doctor's name at one point, and the patient's names. Was there a name of a nurse at all on any of those documents I was reading?
You think back. You think back. And then you realize, yes, there was a name, only half of it, which you probably discarded the name. There was a nurse discharged in the 60s by the name of Wilma B.
Wilma B. It's worth a shot. Wilma B. I'm sorry. Didn't quite get your name the first time, Wilma. That's my fault. I'm Rickard. Or Richard. Richard Demonair.
Hurts more? Why hurts more?
I don't know. Why? Where does it hurt? I could help. My friend here is well, you are a doctor, aren't you?
I'm a nurse. I could, but I don't know if I can help incorporeal beings necessarily. But if you were here, I could help you.
Chest. Inside. Also floor hurts hands, floor hurts feet, floor hurts everything. I leave. And then you hear another brittle sound from the glass and something walking across the floor and leaving the room.
The floor hurts?
The floor hurts. Knife. Could it be talking about the building work?
Most likely.
I wonder if it's possible for this spirit to have become part of the building. And maybe the work is hurting it. It's a little bit of a far-fetched theory, I know.
No, I had similar thoughts. It's very possible. We just need to find a way then to release him from the building, or release her from the building, because, well, I don't think we can stop them from doing the work. This place is... it's gonna need to be improved upon, so... how can we release the spirit from the building?
I take a moment to try and step out of the circle. Do I feel the being has left, or could it possibly be followed?
It has left, but you're stepping outside of your protective circle. The room is still completely dark. And in a way, this darkness behaves normal compared to what you see as you look into the direction from where you could hear the glass shatter. Maybe 2 or 3 meters away from you. beyond the darkness, there is a strange void, just an emptiness without darkness.
I don't want to waste time, do I? Think there's a chance the mare is trying to show me something, or is looking into this void probably just going to greatly upset my mind?
Maybe both. You have been in a cut-off place, and there are spaces in our world that are just for transit, that people don't live in, just visit and go. Those are liminal spaces. And sometimes these spaces lead to more or less the backstage, the beyond realm of the world. Maybe your summoning drew that Vaesen through the beyond realm to you and carved a path. Thing is, entering the beyond realm is very dangerous to your mind.
Clearly came from somewhere else. Shell, I might be being very stupid here, but it might be trying to show us something through that window, but it also might simply be me staring into the void. What should I do?
Nothing risked, nothing gained. Perhaps we can see what it's trying to show us.
Very well, then. I will go to the window. I will say aloud, if you can show me where the pain is, I promise I will try and remove it. I promise.
It is incomprehensible. A place without a concept of distance or substance. It's hard for human brain to make any sense of it. And it's very frightening. So I do need you to finally make a fear check. You roll either empathy or logic, whatever is higher. And in this game, you are bolstered by your friends. You gain a +1 bonus for each not broken ally you have with you. And since Shell is just one condition shy of being broken, they give you your bonus die.
2 6s, 2 successes.
Wonderful. The difficulty for the roll was 2, so you succeed. How do you find a way to not lose your mind staring at this?
It's all about focus. You need to focus on what is actual, what is real. And in this space of madness, I am still one singular being, and my knife is still one knife. That is my anchor, that is the compass. I have been to these spaces before. I have made deals before. I will not lose my mind here. I will keep focused. I will say the name again of the nurse and say, I am here to be shown the pain. Show me the pain, and I will remove it. Please, I want to help you.
There's something. It's coming from the void. You see a building. It's not too big. You remember it outlines from your arrival at the hospital. It's the gym and the swimming pool.
Fascinating. I try and, if I can move in this space, move towards that gym, the swimming pool, and I will say to Shell, the gym, the swimming pool.
Oh, all right.
Does Shell follow?
Yes.
Then I am afraid you also have to conquer your fear. Again, logic or empathy, and you gain a a bonus die from being in company of Richard.
Focus on me, Shell.
No successes.
Push yourself, Shell.
You can't push on a fear check. Also, pushing would have the same effect as failing. It's the fear that's settling in. And I need you to roll d6.
5.
And I need to find very fast the effects of fear checks. Terrified. There we are. 5. So, basically, I am giving you the options which one to choose. I think with a 5 you would be by faint, but you can decide. You are now terrified. And you're going to be broken. Broken means that you can't take any actions except for any mental actions which are like connected to a skill check. You can still talk and you can act physically because you're mentally broken. So you have the full range to decide if you want to flee, freeze in place, faint, or start attacking the nearest hostile person or creature with whatever weapon you are currently holding. You aren't holding a weapon, but actually Richard is holding one. So it's yours to decide.
Then I think I will, I think this is all too much for me. I think I'll just faint.
Shell just entered the Beyond Realm, joining Richard, taking a look around. And Richard, you can see their eyes breaking. And then they just collapse.
This isn't good. I'm going to need to help Shell. I'm running out of time. I'll take one last look at that gym and that pool. Is there anything else I can see? Does it want me to go further on or not?
I mean, there is for sure a connection there, yes. If this should bear any fruits, you have to walk there. You could go back, taking the long way through the hospital, or take the direct connection.
I can't leave Shell completely undefended. For the moment, I'll take a few steps back. I start trying to pull his body to the circle. I whisper, Shell, you need to stay in the circle. I won't be gone long. Just stay here. I'm coming back. And putting him safely in the circle, I'll move quickly forwards. We need to find this information now. I might not be able to help Shell if I don't.
You finally reach the gym. You step up the 2 steps to the front door and give it a good shove. The door swings open and you enter. Suddenly, behind you is the small park. Further in your back there are the lights from the hospital. You enter the front room and you see there is a light coming from in front of you. It is the hall, the gym itself.
I'm confused. What is this? I wonder where she killed herself. Was it in the gym? Was it in the pool? I need to keep going. I walk towards this gym. I walk towards the water. Again, I don't want to stay too long. I don't want to leave Shell by himself, but I have to find out what it's getting at. I say aloud, is this where the pain is?
You're answered by silence. The room seems unreal in its size. There are climbing instruments dangling from the ceiling. There are some instruments on the walls like you could use for gymnastics. And yet there's this uneary light, a little bit bluish, dancing across the walls. And then it's hovering on a door in the wall. It just does look like a storage room.
I walk towards the storage room. To this door I assume is the storage room.
Do you open the door?
Yes.
It feels like the handle hasn't been moved in a long time. It's rusty. The hinges are just short of screeching at you. Do you have a source of light on your own?
I don't. Although, is it possible, being a witch, would I know some way of making my knife glow a little? Or is that a little silly?
There are no hard rules for magic. And I think we can just say you are indeed a experienced practitioner, and you probably know a little trick. You probably bargained for it with something or someone. So, yeah, the knife lights up. And what you see in front of you is just a horrible, horrible mess. In the meantime, several minutes later, Kjell wakes up again, alone, in a dark room, with no sounds.
Rickard? Where are you, Rickard? And I begin looking around for a door of some kind. I need to get out of here.
You open the door, and there's just more darkness outside. You can hear sounds again, like the air conditioning. You can hear steps on the long corridor you're on. You can hear a scream. Somebody else is also in panic.
I'll move towards the source of that scream. Hearing the sounds again is reassuring, but I am not in a good space mentally.
No, you aren't. The screams come from another door, not too far away.
I'll attempt to open that door then.
It gives in. You open the door. A high-pitched scream drills into your ears. It's still dark. There's no lights and the entire building, but there's a little bit of moonlight filtering through the windows. There's a person lying in her bed, and on her chest there's something sitting. A deformed creature with elongated legs and feet and arms and claws, and it's wearing a nurse's outfit. It sits on the chest of the person in the bed, strangling it. It's not the patient that's screaming. It's the creature.
I'm taken to my wit's end already, and I see no path forward here except to confront this thing and try to throw it off from this poor person that it is torturing. So that's what I'll do. I'll attempt to confront it with violence to try to separate it from its prey.
Then that's probably close combat.
One success.
You try to shove it or tackle it, whilst every single alarm bell in your head is screaming, but there's so many things going on in your brain right now, so you can't concentrate on anything really but on your primal instincts. You must intervene, you're right. And as you connect with the Vaesen, it dematerializes, but not into smoke or vapor or anything like this as the mare do in the stories of old. No, it is just, it's like pixeling away, like it was a computer graphic. And then it just reappears on the windowsill, still screaming. And one of the long clawed hands carve through its face, leaving blood dripping down. Suddenly, the woman in the bed just beneath your arms disappears as well.
We brought the lentils to try to distract the mare, right? That's supposed to help against them, right?
Some stories say yes.
Well, I have no choice but to try that. So, you're supposed to throw them on the floor, right? And they try to count them, or is that vampires?
Something like this, yes.
I'll try to do just that then.
We hear 2 hands full of lentils being strewn across the floor, and the voice that told you about the pain earlier, it shrieks, it cries in a confused pain. You can see that it is drawn to follow the lentils, picking them up, counting them, anything like this, but on the same note, it's still sitting there and looks like it wants to go up the walls. It is completely torn between its instincts. It is indeed stunned and won't move in this very second. So, Richard, what you find in this storage room, it is a gymnastics storage room, and there are so many things that you could use for training and exercise, and they're all just like a huge nest of different things stuck together. Chaos. But they're tiny trinkets put onto hooks and into different places. It kind of looks like a messy nest.
It's so very strange. And then a thought occurs to me. Pain. Jim. Did something here hurt her? Did she hurt herself here? I start looking around frantically. There must be a way to figure out. Does anything in this room call to me? Does anything feel like it has an aura, perhaps, of pain? I try to focus for a moment.
You focus. You feel You feel the vibes of the room. It's the first sensation that you get is choking. Then a bitterness in your mouth. There are cramps running through your arms and your legs, and you feel a pain in your stomach. There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong in you. You put it in there. You took this by choice.
Some sort of medication, perhaps? I open my eyes. Of all the weird implements in this room, is there anything supplementary like vitamin pills or diet pills or something like that? Or a medicine box?
There's a medicine box.
I go to the medicine box, I fling it open. What do I see?
First thing you see is a tag, a name tag, stating the name of Wilma Bloom. And then there are some empty pill containers in there.
I pick up the pill container. This might be more Shell's business, but I do know a little. What sort of... Does it have a name? Is it some sort of pill? Does it have a expiry date?
Oh yes, they do have. It's from the 60s. And you're sure how every medication gets toxic in a certain amount. You're pretty sure you're looking at a lethal amount of anything.
This might be it. I'll take the pills. I'll quickly in this space draw a new circle, reaching into my pockets, doing it a little quickly now. Again, I have this sense that time is short, and I'm thinking about Shell. And once again, I will do my ritual, but this time the focus of the ritual is not nothing. It is this pill bottle, and the name of the nurse. And I say, "Come forth. Is this your pain? Meet with me here. Meet with me." And as I say this, I begin to do another circle. I reach out from the protective circle just for a moment to make a smaller circle. A summoning circle. I'm going to try and summon this poor nurse here and now. We need to talk, and we need to deal.
How does Shell react to the disappearance of the woman from the bed?
The mare, is it still there?
It rematerialized, yes, and it's sitting on the windowsill, torn between impulses.
I continue observing it. The woman is gone. I wonder what that means. I look around. Is there anything I can do, or can I do the ritual? Am I skilled in something like that?
Basically, anyone can do the ritual. The ritual is knowing what the creature needs and giving it to it. It can just plainly be like returning a stolen troll child. It can be telling somebody who they truly are. It can be that a creature lost the idea of who it is and need to be reminded of what it can be.
But I don't know any of that. I don't know her name, right? I didn't hear any of that, so I just keep staring at it. I'm in this very difficult mental state. I continue spreading lentils. I want to keep it distracted, hoping that Ikad, whatever he's doing, that he will have more luck with his ritual than I have with mine.
And you do so. And then you can see again how the pixels of the creature are starting to disassemble. And you can see as if the Vaesen is able to hear someone that you can't hear. And the way or what is said seems to bring pain. And then its eyes lock on yours. And you feel for a short moment like nothing matters anymore. Your brain needs rest, your mind needs calmness. And there's a very easy way to calm down, to forget where you are, to forget what you did, to forget who you are. And we see, just a few seconds later, the room in the hospital is empty, but for a few lentils on the floor. In the gym, on the other hand, something is materializing in the summoning circle. Something screaming, asking, why name? Why pain? Why?
At this point, I am sure I have found the Vaesen, and this time I have something connected to it. And being a witch, while anyone can of course do rituals, I have some special talents of my own. I am able to look into the eyes of Vaesens and with the right words and the right look, make them pause and make them listen, just for a round. And I will hold out the pill bottle and I will say her name. Wilma Bloom. My name is Ricard Richard, remember? We've spoken before. These are what caused you the pain, aren't they? These pills. Did you know they'd expired? Why did you think you needed to take them? Why did you think something was so bad that you needed to take them, or did you not know? Please answer me, I want to know.
It looks to you, looks into your eyes and says, I don't know. I just don't know. Tell me why you call me name.
The pain you feel.
Yes.
You don't feel it anymore. You only feel it still because you remember it. But you changed, died, turned it to what you want. I'm not exactly sure on that, but that all happened a long time ago. You don't have to feel the pain anymore if you don't want to. If you want to forget the pain, you can. See, look here. There are no more pills. They're long gone. They're long gone. Miss Bloom.
Forget everything, you say. Just forget everything.
You don't need to forget who you are. You don't need to forget what you are. You just need to forget your pain and move on. And you can. There are other places. It's not over for you. Trust me, I know.
And suddenly, you see Kiel materializing in the arms of the Vaesen, of the glitch, a creature who has forgotten who it was, a Vaesen on the brink of extinction.
I pause for a moment and I say, you don't need to take him with you. He belongs here. You belong there. And I kind of gesture to where we are. And you can exist here. You don't need to take my friend with you. You don't need to take any of the people in the hospital with you. You did your best for them, Miss Bloom. This is the past. Your future awaits. But not here. You don't need to be in pain anymore.
And she strokes Shell's face Who reminding me this?
I imagine it reminds you of being a nurse. I think you were a good one, weren't you?
Was I? Was I good? Was I?
I think so. I think it's time to go, Miss Bloom. I think it's time for you to no longer feel any pain. You've earned it.
Yes. This one broken.
Is he?
Yes. Severely. Needs help.
I don't suppose you could help. One last good job?
I can help.
Thank you.
And she is stroking Shell's hair. You are aware of that. How does it feel?
I feel reassured. I feel like I'm in my mother's arms. Mommy? And I'll try to wake up if I can.
You do. You look up into a face that many people would probably describe as monstrous. But you can see a kindness in these eyes, the way they're looking at you. Then she tells you, everything will be alright. Don't worry.
I'll smile at her.
She smiles back. Wilma Bloom smiles back. And the whole atmosphere in the room is changed. There's a serene calmness around you. And the desperation, the pain, they're gone. And you have the feeling that the ritual was a success. I thank you very much for this game of Modern Vaesen.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play Remember Me for Vaesen, and specifically the Modern Vaesen edition. Our GM was our dear friend Tom Murr, who was also part of the team writing this edition. You can find Modern Vaesen on DriveThruRPG by following the link in the show notes. The music was made by Phonotech and was used with permission from their label, Cryochamber. Check out their website at cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for some moody dark ambient. We'd like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon, Martin Heuschober, Simon Cooper, David, Julia, Camilla, Bob Lange, Cameron, Antxon and Graham Barey for their generous support. We would of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult of Divinity Lost and Coriolis there, as well as get early and raw access to all of our recordings. You can also hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as play Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. Thank you again for listening, and remember that at your doorstep, in the shadows, something stirs.